I encourage you, I don't know if you do this, and to stack the MedPays, right? So in North Carolina, you can stack MedPays. Right? You don't have to just use their MedPay. If they have a family member, typically you see this with a brother and sister, and they live and they have a separate policy and they have MedPay, you can also use that household MedPay, right? So,
same person?
huh?
For one person?
Or your client. So you can stack multiple MedPays. So what I mean by that is, say you get a client in, right, and they have their own insurance policy. Now, it does have to be a separate insurance policy. So a lot of times with husband and wife, they'll be on the same insurance policy. You can't stack that, right? But if it's separate insurance policies, and you'll see this often with sister and brother live together, it does have to be a family member. A parent and child, where the child is older. This is typically the situation you'll see it, where the parent has a separate policy from the child, but they live in the same household. You can get the $1,000 from the child, you can get the $1,000 from the parent, you can get the $2,000 from the grandparent. Right? So that's something that I always like to kind of go over, and that can be something that we talk about in more detail, because a lot of times when I say that, a lot of the chiropractors don't know that they can do that. I typically can get multiple policies for clients, right? And I like to, a lot of times, I've had it to where you've been able to stack the doctors. I've told them, I was like, hey, there's actually also, and I'll do this too, I always get all this information from the client. Who do you live with? So these are questions you can also ask too when you get a new client. Who do you live with? How are you related to them? Right? Do they have their own car insurance? Those are 3 questions I would always ask if you get a new intake. Because that right away tells you that, okay, they live with a parent, they have separate insurance. That's another MedPay policy that could be out there. Right? Also too, you can get the MedPay policy, say they're a passenger, right? This is another time it happens a lot. They're a passenger, and it's like they're in their friend's car. You can obviously get that vehicle's MedPay because they were in that vehicle, and then you can get their MedPay, right, for their own personal vehicle. And then a lot of times when they're a passenger, that's when you can start getting 3 or 4 different type of MedPays, because you have the clients, you have the passenger, and then you have a parent or a sibling who lives. It just has to be the same household, right? Now it doesn't work if it's a roommate. It has to be related. It's got to be relative. It doesn't even work for a fiance. They have got to be married. Now it's no fault, right? So it doesn't affect your insurance premiums. I say that with the silver lining. Insurance companies are smart, right? When they go to renew, they can't go up on you anyways for using the MedPay, right? Now that's not to say that they're not going to go up on you for some other reason, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, you can do it. Now, don't get me wrong, they're going to call their insured, right? They're going to call the sister or the brother and confirm, hey, do you live with this, you're such and such, and are y'all in the same household? How are you related to them? So they're going to call and confirm and talk with their insured, but you can definitely open the claim without a doubt.
As long as it's a separate policy.
As long as it's a separate policy.
So how do you get what I see, we get it from the patients, but
right.
What I see more of a fight with them is to try to get it from another member in their household.
Right, absolutely. So I think it's important, and I get that same flack, right? I get that same kind of comments, but I can just explain to them, look, it's not going to affect your insurance premiums in the long run. It's going to help you cover medical bills. In North Carolina, we're a lump sum payment state, meaning the clients are burdened with the upfront cost, right? That's why attorneys do contingency fees, right? That's why there are 4449 liens there. We don't have PIP coverage like other states have, whereas a bill comes in, you send it directly to the insurance company and they're paying it, right? So that's why one of the reasons why MedPay is there to kind of help relieve some of that burden of the upfront cost of medical treatment. I think the most thing that clients get, at least the kind of questions I get, is that they're concerned that it's going to affect the other person's insurance, right? And it is no fault. It's like how I describe it to clients is I describe it as a quasi-health insurance, okay? You pay for it extra on your insurance, right? It's there for you to use, whether you're at fault or not. Now, you can be at fault for accident and still use MedPay, right? But it's there for you to use to cover you it's like a health insurance almost. You pay for it extra. That's why everyone doesn't have it, because they don't choose to pay for it. So I like to describe it as a quasi-health insurance because that's basically what it is. And that's also one of the reasons why I like when the medical, the providers, such as yourself, go and get the MedPay. That's what it's there for. It's because
it decreases your need to even sell at a higher rate because it's already taken care of.
Right, exactly.